These keep coming, man. These keep coming. Okay, so look at this hand. This hand, at first glance, you're like, okay, so it's not that great going second against here. If this was a Bystial instead of the Lubellion, I think it would be okay, but let's just watch it, because it's just crazy to think of how this duel plays out. So he goes for Rhino, sends Sharon, he goes for this fusion, he goes for Kit. Kit searches Crime. Use Kit effect, summon, standard play. This is the most standard play you can possibly think of, right? He mills me, he mills my trail, he mills my Cernier, I send the Lubellion. Okay, I'm okay, that's fine, okay. I have a Lubellion I can revive potentially. And right here he revives my Druis Worm. And I was like, oh, I can trigger double. But I wasn't sure if it was a trigger double, but I was like, let me just trigger it, because what if I need like a Jordan overtake? So it makes it kind of weird. But then like, looking back at it, I was like, should I have summoned it? I don't know. Maybe I should have kept it in hand, because like he could just spin it off of the field spell, you know, or just like, or off Kaleido. So I wasn't sure if this was a smart play to do it. I think I should have. And he was changing as well. That threw me off. I was like, oh, okay. I mean, I've seen it a couple times, but not enough to be like, okay, it's standard or stable. This just usually takes Baron slot. So I'm like, okay, my guy's gonna get banished. My double's gonna get banished. I was like, oh my god, I should have just kept it in hand. So he sent it to, looking back at it, I should have summoned it. I should have kept it in hand. I draw into Levy, and I'm like, okay, how can I do this? Because he has the banish, a spot banish. He can banish my Trail Engrave, which is kind of annoying. But then most likely he'll wait for the Lubellion. It depends how I sequence it, right? Because I can trigger Trail off Lubellion, which is nice. So I need to find a way to where I can bait the Crime, eventually resolve either this or the Trail. So I go for so this is gonna try to prompt this guy. I'm gonna try to get something on field so I can tribute summon it, to bypass the freaking the Recalo's negation, and I'm gonna send this to graveyard and then try to get something off of that. At this point, you're playing a losing game at the moment, so it's all a matter of how does he interact with you. Effect, he negates it, and then right here, mills, goes for Kit, and then no way, and then it brings us to game 2, and you look at this hand and you're like, I would rather play a bit more conservative and have 3 Bystials pass. I felt like I would get more value off of that. The best I could have done is a Baron, like a Baron or a Chang Ying, and then pass with 2 Bystials, or 3 Bystials maybe. But I felt like I think I would have been better off just saving these 3 and get full value off of them. So I searched for the third Bystial, I pass, and I'm like, okay, I should be fine. 3 Bystials versus Tear, and then I have follow up next turn, I should be okay. I hit the Shiren. He goes for Shiren, pitch, and he mills. What does he mill? He mills a Yugioh. He mills Havness. I'm gonna snipe. I'm gonna hit that Havness, and he gets a Yugioh mill as well. And what does he mill again? He just keeps milling name. Oh, like he probably has a bunch of like going second cards in his hand. And then so he gets a Cowback. I'm like, okay, well let's go. Let's see what he is. What does he mill for me? He mills my Jet, mills my Cernier. Like, okay, that's fair enough. I send another Lubellion. And he just goes on Baguska pass. So he just whiffed like hard, like I mentioned before in the previous video. Like that is a possibility. It's not something that you intend to see happen, because like most of the time its track record is always going to be hitting. But like this does actually happen quite frequently, and it's quite surprising sometimes. Well, I can get around the Baguska because of this already. Lubellion summon itself, and then I have there's no way. So he sets 2 back row, and I get it out of the way right away, because that means I want to make sure if I summon this, if I try to like chain like it's like a Bystial War or something, I can chain this and I can resolve it, and assuming it hits the field. Otherwise it'll just be negated when it hits the field. So then I go Druis Worm, get rid of the Baguska. Sphex, search, he triggers. He uses the field spell. I use Destrudo into Yazi into Pop, and then we just climb in here, because like all of it, unless he has Crime, then but not even crime because he doesn't control Tear, so I felt pretty secure, I felt pretty safe. I'm just going with the motion here. Just trying to go for game, but in a way where I can't get interacted with. Send this. Go for a chain. Look at that. That's just wild. But once you get to this point, you just feel so good at this point. And he scoops. So moment of truth, right? Game 3, Synchron going second versus Tear going first. It's so scary, so daunting because you already expecting them to open it on the best board, right? That's like the whole like general consensus of them going first, like game 1, and then they're gonna go first game 3, and then you see them milling, right? And you just see them like do this, like, you know, I mean, I had double Bystial, so there was no way he was gonna go unhindered. You know, that was like a given. So right here, it's a bit contradicting because you have the evenly matched and you have the Bystial, so you have to choose either or. But I knew that the moment he tried to resolve his fusions, I was like, I'm not gonna just not use these because I want to burn those shufflers right away. And it's a win-win because it's an obscure situation because he would not expect an evenly. The logical standpoint would be, okay, well, yeah, it's far from it. Like, why would he keep evenly and the Bystials? Like, why? It's just so contradicting. The risk versus the reward, right? Because it's hard to play around those situations. I felt pretty comfortable. I was okay, I'll burn the shufflers now. It's a win-win. I keep them in my hand. I keep my field clear for the evenly. And, yeah. He pops, and then he does that. I was like, okay, fair enough. And the evenly just fits perfectly, and then I draw into Druid's Worm, so I'm like, oh my god, this couldn't be better. This could not have been better. Oh my god, look at this effect. Yeah, trying to bait the shufflers. I should have done this one first, but I wanted to ensure that this resolved. He has another one more shuffler. Does he shuffle here? And if he does, okay, then I'll just chain the third one, and I'll keep these two in hand. And then I'll just summon Stardust and go for a Baron and then pass, you know. But he didn't. And here we go. He didn't use Shuffler. So I was a bit confused. Because I was expecting to use a Shuffler. I was like, oh, damn, okay, well, I guess I summoned both. So it ended up working out. I go for Baron just to get in some negation, get the Druids out of the other way. And what I could have done here, I could have gone for the Yugioh line here. Oh my goodness. But my timer was running really low and trying to figure out the line because I was trying to anticipate his turn. I mean his moves. And one of the lines included him using this. So I was like, oh, I guess not. So it kind of threw me off. And I could have just gone for Yugioh line here. Yugioh, send, but then if that was a Keldo, he would just force to bounce. Then I would have to negate. He would have Medora. Medora would have, what would have done? I don't think it would have done anything. I think regardless, I think it would have been okay. But yeah, I just played safe, played conservative, and I just go straight into Omega. Omega rip and pass, and I have a negation and I have a Bystial in hand, so it should be fine. He just passes. I draw into the Bystial. I was like, oh my goodness, these Bystials are just coming in clutch. And I just go battle phase, and boom! This guy was taking his sweet time. Back here again. So if you've been keeping up with these games, with these matches against Tear, or just throughout this testing journey, right? I've only made one change before. The first list had Midbreaker. But then I ended up quitting Midbreaker and adding the Levy because I like the versatility that you can search it off of Magnemite. Or even if you go first, it's not hand rip, which is really nice. Like you'll rip with Omega, you'll whip with Levy, and you can climb with this guy as well because you run these big synchros. You can climb into a Shen, a Baron, or a Changying, which is really nice. And then you just add it back and just keep popping. It's just spot removal. Because that's something that the deck struggled in the past with, but now you kind of don't because of you play Druid's Worm, you play Branded Beast, and you play this. Like it's good spot removal, which is what I really like. And of course, some of you have been mentioning you've been playing like Sarvis and other dragons that you can implement. Of course you can, but I want to stay as consistent as possible, right? Because already these are inconsistencies right here. Like if you open up these guys, and of course if you overload yourself with Bystials, it can be unless you're going up against Tear. It could be a bit problematic because they're only good against Tear. There's some instances where you can get by, you know, but it's most of the time it's like against Fluid does nothing. So you gotta be mindful about that. And yeah, so for those of you that keep asking, okay, so what do you side out? Okay, so what you side out is the Bystial stuff. So if you go in second against Tear, you take out the Bystials and you take out these 3. So take out 6. You still want to keep these because you still want to you still want to use them as their interruptions, as interactions, because they're a body and they banish the fusion attempts. So you put in 3 of these and 3 of these. That's it. So 6 for 6. And then when you go against any other matchup that these do absolutely nothing against, then you just take all the Bystials out. You take out the 15, these and these, and you put in everything. Against Flu, that's basically what you do. You take all that, put on this, and you just like, yeah, it's hard. It's hard to lose once you open up so much hate versus them. Especially this. This alone is insane because that means you have this, and you can run around. You can run away. You can play around the statue, right? You can play around the statue. It's just run it over because you would have hit the Dreamtown and the field spell, so they can't summon it again. But yeah, let's keep going, man. Let's keep going. Hopefully enjoy the video. Like, subscribe, and if you haven't, thanks for watching.